Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to part 2 of your 2023 reading. Part 1 is linked up down below if you haven't watched that yet, but we're going to be covering houses 5 through 8 in this reading. So in your 5th house for romance, creativity, self-expression, children, good fortune, stuff like that, you literally have the Lovers. So there could be like a new connection coming in for you. Feels like an opportunity to me here, Aquarius, as in, it's like you could take it or leave it type of situation is what I'm kind of getting here. So it's like someone could be rushing in with communication. You literally have this message card as well. This could also be you sending a message to a person. And, obviously we're going to have to clarify through here to see what's going on. But in your 5th house, it looks like someone wants to communicate with you with the Knight of Swords. But the thing with the Knight of Swords is it is like rushing communication. Look, you have the Lovers in the tarot as well. And this is showing up in your 7th house. Your 7th house is the house of relationships and marriage. So there's definitely some sort of connection that could be rushing into your life at this time. So we're going to have to look at that. And then you end as yourself, as a star, which makes perfect sense, by the way. But you have the Lovers in this message card. I just want to look at it here. It's like there's some sort of message here that could be coming in for you. You have the Temperance card as well, so something needs to change in a connection. Or it could just be you that's changing. Because you have something about a heartbreak here as well in the area of your relationships. You have the Three of Swords. So, there could have been a separation or like a breakup or something like that has experienced, that you have experienced maybe in 2022 or something like that. But I do feel like some sort of confusion, mostly on that Knight of Swords is what I would say. Because, if there was confusion, let's just say you have the Knight of Swords, Temperance, and the Ace of Pentacles. Knight of Swords can be like rushing energy, and it can be like hasty decisions. So some of you might have been dealing with a person who made a hasty decision, or who made a decision out of like a hasty energy, or they just didn't really think things through. And so some of you could be definitely dealing with that with the Knight of Swords. I wouldn't be rushing to make any decisions at all in romance, just in general. With this energy, I would be making sure that you're entering into relationships where there's co-creation. Literally in your 7th house, you have the co-creation card. This is also how you express, this is like the house of self-expression, how you express yourself, the 5th house. And I don't know, I would just like slow things down at this time. I do feel like you need to get creative, like if you want love, but even not just love. The 5th house is a house of creativity, so it could be creativity for anything that you're working on, any projects, businesses, your health, any personal beliefs, anything like that. Temperance is about turning one thing into another. Like you could turn a yes into a no, and you can turn a no into a yes, as I always say with the Temperance card. So I would practice your energy of Temperance. You also have the Ace of Pentacles here, and I do get like a love offer coming in for you. If you have a love offer coming in from the past, though, I feel like this person, I just feel like day late, dollar short type of energy here, Aquarius, where I'm not saying they were a bad person. It's going to be different for all of you. I have a million stories rushing into my head right now, but what I would say is that, I feel like someone realizes that, they should have just stayed where they were. They should have stayed put, right, and kept their mouth shut. That's what I feel. And so this Ace of Pentacles, it feels like, I really feel like this is you looking for a place that you can nurture into existence. And this goes for a person. So if you're looking for romance, it's like you want a person who puts in the work. I feel like you want a person where there's growth. And I feel like you're perfectly fine being alone. Look, if we go this way, you go up to the moon. The moon is part of the Fool's journey. And the Fool has to go down this path like on his own. He has to find out what is on these mountains in the background, and what's back there, I'm going to tell you, is an achievement. And it could be like new love, or you discovering a person who actually like wants to put in the work, who actually wants to be open and honest. There could have been lying here as well. You have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords itself doesn't necessarily represent a lie, but it can represent the truth. And it's like, why couldn't someone just tell you the truth in the first place is what I feel like saying. Here you go. With the Knight of Swords, you have the impulsiveness card. I'm telling you right now, exactly like I said, someone made like an impulsive, hasty decision, and I feel it was the wrong decision. They could be coming in and telling you the truth. I feel like you feel very stuck about this here, Aquarius. This is a very specific story. For some of you, It's like if a person is returning to your life, could have been a Pisces, another Aquarius, a Scorpio, Gemini, or an Earth sign, could have been a Sagittarius as well, that did this to you, Aquarius. And what I would say is, I feel like you're very stuck because maybe you have a lot of love for this person. And I would just encourage you to, like, really, I feel this reading is pretty simple in the sense that, as far as love is concerned, if you went through a situation where someone made a split second impulsive decision, then, I feel like you need to move towards something new, is what this is saying. Two aces showing up here. You also have the co-create card. It's really saying that this could break your heart, but at the same time, it's like a person had a chance to, put in the work and they didn't, is what I would say there. Again, fifth house is impulsive, is your self-expression, so I'd make sure that you're not impulsive. I would think things through this year, everything. With the temperance card, see, this is what's waiting for you, is fortune, good things coming in for you. Could even be a Leo that is approaching you as well, Aquarius, so you're opposite sign. But, there could be a Leo coming in for you. I feel like there's just good fortune coming in for you. And I really feel that, for some of you, if you've been separated from this person for a while, I feel like you could be looking at your life and saying, my life, it's like maybe you're sad. You have the Three of Swords. So clearly some of you are heartbroken. But you could be saying, like, my life is better, though. Like, things are going maybe more in your direction. Maybe business is going better. Maybe you're more productive. All these things. And I feel like that's what you're kind of focusing on. With the Ace of Pentacles, you have this risk card. I feel like you're taking the risk. I feel like you're taking the risk to move towards something new. Very simple here, Aquarius. There's really not much to say as far as love is concerned here, other than I feel like you're taking the risk to move away from a person. Feels like a very strange connection to me intuitively, because I feel like you two were very connected. Maybe this was one of those things that was meant to come together. Maybe it was meant to end in marriage, but something clearly happened here. And I feel like it's like almost unforgivable for some of you. Next, in the area of your sixth house is your daily routine, your work habits, health, things like that. You have this retrograde card. It says review. And you have this Capricorn card that says achieve. You have the Ace of Swords, the Moon. These are all cards of achievement to me. The Moon isn't really a card of achievement, but it kind of is because, again, the mountains in the background. You also have the Star. So, Aquarius, I feel like there are a lot of achievements coming in for you. You could also be attracting a Capricorn, I'm getting, as well. So, take it how it resonates. Could be any sign, but if you're looking for love, could be a Capricorn. I do feel that, we have this Mercury retrograde at the end of the year here. And it could be a really good time at the very, very beginning of the year to take some time, maybe for the first 3 months or so. So until the end of March or like the middle of March, it might be a good time to like kind of review your life and your goals and to look at the things that you want. I also feel you have the Seven of Pentacles here. Really, what's popping into my head is that you could make things a lot easier on yourself. Here, like I feel like you need a routine, is what I'd say here, Aquarius. You have the Ace of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles. Again, I feel that this is the energy that could be keeping you a little bit trapped as in a routine, like in work. Like maybe there's a certain way you do your work, and King of Pentacles is the card of convention, basically the card of the way things have always been done. Not a bad card at all, but at the same time, if we go like this here, Aquarius, blip, right up to the Seven of Swords, or sorry, the Three of Swords and the Eight of Swords, very stuck energy. So I feel like I just called you Capricorn, but Aquarius, what I would say here is that I feel like you need to kind of make sure that you do not get stuck doing things one way. The thing that I would say here is I feel like there's an easier way that you could be doing things, I feel like there's an easier way that you could be working. I don't really have any good examples other than like, I used to do my videos at night, and sometimes I still do them at night, but for the most part, I just feel better doing them in the morning. So I just switch to the morning. It's like, I know that sounds stupid, but it's like I feel there could be little tiny like changes that you make to your daily routine that make you much more productive. Again, me switching it to the morning made me more productive. I have the rest of the day to work on other projects. It's like, so much better for me to do it that way. So I would just say, if you've been doing something the same way for a really long time, there might be a better routine that could make things very much more kind of, work better for you just in a lot of ways. Sixth house is also the card of health, and I would make sure with Seven of Pentacles, like, is the juice worth a squeeze? Is it worth it to go eat 2 Domino's pizzas? Might feel good in the moment. Trust me, I get it, but probably not. So I would be careful with the Seven of Pentacles for sure. You have the Ace of Swords here. This is definitely victories coming in for you. I feel like victories. I feel success. I feel good things. I am getting surgery for some of you. Again, I'm not a doctor, but if you are having surgery, this looks like pretty good to me is what I would say to you. with this energy. I'm getting a very specific message as well. Like I would make sure, again, if you're like picking a surgeon for something like elective or whatever, I would like really do your research here. Again, not telling you what to do. And again, it's a health thing. I'm not a doctor. I'm just some guy on the internet. So don't listen to me. But there's your, for the YouTube police out there, there's your FDA warning or whatever you want to call it. But what I would say is this right here, going to the Three of Swords. I don't think there's anything bad that could happen. I just think that maybe there could be a disappointment that could be avoided. So I would do your research and look, you go to the Star. So, it's like if you're having some sort of surgery or something, I would just look into it, do your research and make sure you're finding a person who like can really do a good job, right? The other thing is I do feel like it's weird that it's showing up in the 6th house but what I would say is it's like almost like someone is trying to do work on you. But what I mean is like a past relationship, this impulsive person, I feel like they're coming in and it's like now they want to tell the truth. Here's the thing. I just said this to someone else. I have no sympathy for adults that just can't tell the truth. It's like, okay, like one lie, if it's like one lie and they come clean or something like that. I mean, there are always exceptions to this rule, but I feel like this is multiple lies. I feel like this is multiple things that a person kept hidden and maybe tried to keep you stuck, and I feel like you're just done with it. With the King of Pentacles here, I do feel that you're feeling pretty stable in your finances. But I would encourage you to shoot for the stars, The King of Pentacles is good, but this tells me that your year financially could be significantly better. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, sure, if you just keep doing things the same way that you've been doing them in like work or business, your finances are probably going to be stable and fine with the King of Pentacles. But it's like, do you want stable and fine or exciting and mind-blowing and inspirational with the Star card? I would pick number 2 if I were you. Not telling you what to do. Do whatever you want. With the Ace of Swords, here you go. You have this egotism card again. Someone had an ego, plain and simple. I also feel that you could have been dealing with a person who had another person who had an ego, and it's like, I feel like this person maybe did things to, pull your person away from you, and that could have been what happened to your Aquarius. Very specific story, like I said. Here's the thing. Is, again, if someone's coming in telling you the truth that they were pulled away, like, the way that I think is like, why would I want someone who's so easily influenced or so easily pulled away, right? So I would definitely be careful there. With the 7 of Pentacles, you have this discovery card. I mean, I do feel like you are walking away. You look at this. You go up, right? Discovery to the moon. The moon is about discovering kind of like what's in the darkness. You even go to the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords doesn't have to be a bad card. It can just be a card of a separation or, picking a new path. Then you have the Lovers. Even outside of love, the Lovers is just being at a crossroads and picking a new path. So I feel for a lot of you that you're just picking a new path here this year in 2023. With the King of Pentacles, you have this empathy card. I feel like you will have empathy for a person, but I feel like you're like, like too freaking bad is what I would say to you. It's like, where were they to give you empathy when you were together is what I feel like saying. So really, I feel like you're walking away. I feel others of you, if this is not your situation, I feel like you're trusting your intuition more, and your intuition is guiding you towards something new. And, again, I feel like there's something new that's going to be very exciting for you. Next, in your 7th house of relationships and marriage, you have the co-create card and this chop wood card. I feel like this is what you are looking for. You're looking for someone who really wants to co-create. You're looking also for someone who has not only wants to put in the work, but has already done the work. Like, I feel like you're looking for someone who has worked on themselves, who has maybe developed a certain amount of like personal development, or maybe they've developed themselves in a certain way. Maybe they have a certain level of maturity or something like that. But I feel like you're looking for both. Someone who has done the work on themselves, but is also willing to put the work in to a connection. I do feel like you could be attracting someone who's like very different than your usual type as well, which has come up for multiple people. Again, it came up a lot in the 2022 readings, and I have a feeling that it's probably going to come up a lot in these 2023 readings. You have the moon, the 3 of Swords, and the Lovers. Again, I feel a past person could have caused a lot of confusion for you, but we're going to move past that now because I feel like you're picking new love. I feel like there's a new choice coming in for you here. I feel like some of you are kind of like starting to doubt it though. So I feel like you need to change your story, number one. I would be very careful of the story that you tell yourself here, because again, I feel like intuitively I know that we attract the story that we tell. So I feel that Again, if you're telling the story about how horrible everyone is in relationships, and that's what you're going to attract. And I would definitely be very careful of that with the Lover's energy. Again, you do have the Three of Swords, but I actually feel like you're healing from this. Three of Swords, the trick from this with this card is to practice forgiveness. You don't have to necessarily forgive the person, but you could be forgiving yourself, and that's what I feel like you could be doing here. I also feel that I do feel this could just be a choice that you're making. Again, sometimes I just feel this Three of Swords can just be picking a new path, very similar to the Lovers. It's just like a separation in the literal sense of the word. You're like choosing something new. That's what you're doing here. This is what you're choosing. See, I think you're betting on yourself, Aquarius, is what I'd say. And I say I think because I don't actually feel it intuitively. It's more, it's a different feeling for me, is what I would say. I can't really explain it, but, I feel just that you are choosing yourself. I'm pretty sure I said this to you recently. And I also feel like you're betting on yourself. Like you're betting that you can accomplish something back here. The mountains in the back of the moon card represent some sort of accomplishment. So let's get more detail on this. I'm wondering if like a past person has motivated you in the sense that you're like, I'll prove it, I'll show you type of energy here. If this is love, it doesn't have to be. It could just be a person as well. Here you go. With the moon, there was an influence over a person. I mean, I don't know. I'm just repeating myself at this point. See, I feel like someone influenced your person or tempted your person away from you. But again, I feel like you're saying to yourself, like, why would I want to be with a person who's so easily tempted, right? And so you're just moving on to something new. I feel like, again, that this could have kept you stuck for a while, but now you're like setting yourself free. With the Three of Swords, you have the loss card. So like I said, I feel like you've experienced this loss. So you might be asking yourself, why is this coming up in the 2023 readings? And you're saying this already happened. Well, number one, I read intuitively. I feel like this already happened to you. And number two, what I would say is I feel like this is coming up because you could still be thinking about it. And again, I feel intuitively, there's nothing here that really says this other than my intuition that I really feel like you need to change your story, the things that you say about relationships. Again, I've been doing this for a long time, and I also believe in the law of attraction, and I know that, people always say, like, all guys cheat, all girls do this, all. It's like if you're making those blanket statements, then you're just creating more of that. So you have to tell a different story. You have to believe that it's possible to find a person that puts in the work. You have to believe that there are people that are willing to, keep the romance alive and things like that. And it starts with you. It doesn't start with someone else, right? So I feel that some of you need to, like, change your story here. With the Lovers card, you have this Principles card. I feel like you want a person of principle. Everybody wants this right now. This is very much, this here is Jupiter and Sagittarius. But what I would say is that this card reminds me very much of Uranus and Taurus. Because with Uranus and Taurus, we pretty much will only want to enter into quality situations. We will pretty much only want to enter into situations that match with our principles as well. Neptune and Pisces. Neptune and Pisces has a lot to do with like traditional belief. A lot of our traditional beliefs are principles, like things that our grandparents passed down to us or beliefs that our parents gave to us. But these could be principles. And I feel like you're really finding a person who kind of like matches your beliefs in a lot of ways. I also feel there's just a lot of good fortune coming in for you with that energy, especially if you're doing something new. Even outside of like work. The other thing is I feel like you need to, if you're like teaming up with people here, Aquarius, I would say, like, let's say you have a business and you're bringing someone into your business or something. I almost feel like you need to write a list of like everything that you bring to the business. And, let's say you have a person that wants to like partner up on a project or something like that. I would make sure that equals both sides. It's like there could be, I just have like this story popping into my head. It might only be for a few of you where it's like there could be a person coming in for you who like wants to work together in your business or wants to work on a project, but it's like I feel like you have a lot to offer. Maybe they just don't have a lot to offer at all. And I'm not saying this is, I don't think they're trying to do anything manipulative here or anything like that. I just think you would end up doing all the work is what I would say. So I would make sure that doesn't happen. And maybe you need to spell it out in a contract if you're teaming up with people or whatever. Next in your 8th house of debts, other people's money, intimacy, mysteries, things like that. You have this Science card. It says, keep an open mind. There's something unfolding for you. I definitely see this here with that Moon card. You don't see it yet. You have this Celebration card. There will be celebration in regards to work. As you see more success, don't use that as an excuse to stop having fun. Right. Everybody has had something about needing to have fun. So, I would definitely say make sure to have fun at this time. I do feel there's like a mystery unfolding here because, again, it says keep an open mind. There's something unfolding for you here. So, there's something that is probably going to set you free in life because you have the Eight of Swords, Death card, and the Star card. Eight of Swords represents only seeing one way of doing things, needing to be open to multiple ways of doing things, right? I also do get, I get a million stories here, Aquarius. I feel like, again, if you went through this issue with a person where someone was impulsive, it could have made you a little bit, nervous in other situations as well. Sometimes I think we go through a trauma where we thought, a person really liked us or whatever, and, maybe it hurts us in business or something. And I feel this Eight of Swords is saying, stay open to other ways of doing things. Stay open to the possibility that there could be a different way that things can unfold for you. And I feel like you're going to be surprised and happy as well. You also have the Death card. I feel like you are this person right here. I feel like you are the Death Rider. It's like you are change. You are becoming death. And I mean that in the best way possible. And, I feel like people are really going to be kind of looking up to you. See these people, they're looking up to the Death Rider, but they're begging for their life. This guy is, and this lady is just scared. The child on the Death card is excited by change. So that, kind of represents the fact that children are excited by new things. They want to experience new things. They're curious, right? But the adults on this card are all afraid of change. But what I would say here is that I feel like you are the one that is now kind of more, I feel like it's putting you in a position of control. It's like you're the one that is going to be calling the shots. Again, there's a person begging here. So, again, mark my words. Don't say I didn't warn you. I would say that I definitely feel there could be a person who's begging to come back. This could be a person from a distance as well. You also have the two pillars from the moon right here. And you can see the sun coming up between those two pillars. And so it kind of says that you're leaving a moon period behind. What I would say to you is I feel like this is what you need to grab onto right here. This right here is a white rose. The white rose on the Death card, it represents just the pinprick of light in the darkness. And sometimes that's what we need to grab onto, right? Sometimes we just need to grab on to the tiniest little bit of light to chase away the darkness. So if you think everyone's a cheater, everybody's impulsive, or maybe you've had a bunch of relationships where everybody's cheated on you, you have to change your story. So I'd start small. It's maybe you just have to go look for things that prove that they're positive relationships. I saw a cute old couple walking into the store today holding hands, right? There you go. Grab onto that and say, see, it exists. It's right here. It's possible. If they can do it, you can do it. That's the Star card. So I feel like you need to start grabbing onto those small things, and that's how you slowly change your focus, right? And that's what I'd be doing. You have the Star card here, so you end this reading in a very strong position, which is great. I feel there's a lot of success. I feel there's a lot of abundance. The Star card says if something's possible for one person, it's possible for you. She's literally pouring water onto the land here. And again, the water is going out into the earth. And that's the part that really represents if something's possible for one person, it's possible for you. It's the water going out into the land. And, something good is coming for you here, Aquarius. With the Eight of Swords, you have this caution card. I would be careful of only seeing one way of doing things. It's also funny that there are all these animals coming at her. I feel like people really want your attention, or, people could really want what you have, because it looks like there's good fortune coming in for you, especially in work. I am wondering if some of you are more work focused because maybe you have gone through a heartbreak this year in 2022, and you're just saying, I'm just going to focus on my money, which is fine. I feel like there's a lot of money to be made here for you, especially if you're doing something new. Like I said, with the King of Pentacles, make sure to try new things. Take advantage of that Pluto and Aquarius in March, because I keep telling everyone, we need to try new things. That's how we're going to become very successful. We need to innovate. And you are the innovator. But again, I feel like people could see you glowing up, or, people could see you becoming successful in business, and they might want a piece of it. So I'd make sure to be careful of that. With the Death card, you have the Acquisition card. Multiple people have had this card this year, and I definitely feel that, this is my fancy couple card. I feel like there could be a very solid relationship coming in for you, but again, I feel that it really kind of depends on the story that you tell. You have the Lovers in the Kipper, and you also have the Lovers in the Tarot here, so clearly there's love coming in for you, but, one thing I would say is this. You have this Discovery card here, and I really feel that you could find someone through traveling, moving, or making some sort of change. So that's how you're going to find them. is what I'd say through some sort of adventure. But guess what, Aquarius? You have to leave the house to go on an adventure, so make sure to do that. But definitely could be finding your person here. With the star card, you have this manipulation card. This is actually a good card. It's not like manipulation. You definitely could have been dealing with a manipulative person. Don't get me wrong. But this is a card of manifestation. It's a card of manipulating energy. And again, you have the Temperance card here as well. I think you really need to remember that your words are very powerful and you can turn, Temperance is about turning a situation around, turning a yes into a no. You can turn a no into a yes as well. You can go either direction with the Temperance card. And I would make sure that you are kind of not it's almost like I would say that you shouldn't accept no for an answer. But I mean, like, if something isn't working in your life, it's like where there's a will, there's a way. And I really feel that's kind of like one of the main themes for everyone this year, that if you want something bad enough, you can have it. But you might have to, like, temperance. You might have to work with the energy. You might have to do something different with the energy. You have this, we're going to pull 5 main themes now for anything that I could have missed in this reading. And you have this parrot card that says someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. Every single person has had like this card. There's like a rat card in here, something else. There's like a couple of them. But what I would say is that Mars retrograde, ignore it, right? I always tell people Mars retrograde until like March. Basically we're in the shadow till March. So I would just, the middle of March, end of March, somewhere around there. I would just like completely ignore gossip. If you try to defend yourself under Mars retrograde, you always look guilty. If you don't, then after the retrograde, you always are proven right. So don't fight it, right? Let it happen. And just ignore it. Because then ignoring it's the best thing you can do in Mars retrograde. You have this box card. It says you will receive a gift. I feel like this is like a gift of love. I'm going to clarify this here. Yeah. You have this Family Matters card. Could be like a family or someone that you start a family with. I almost grabbed 2 cards as well. Here you go. It says Unicorn. Use your intuition to make beneficial changes. But I feel like you could be attracting like a unicorn, like a very special person. Next, you have the Stork. It says news of a birth or new business opportunity. I definitely feel a lot of business opportunities. I will say, if you're trying to get pregnant, go for it. But I will say, some of you could be meeting a person getting pregnant very quickly. Is this a bad thing? For some of you, actually, just looking around here and intuitively, I feel it would be a celebration. So you might meet someone and maybe you just know. Maybe you're like, hey, not only are they daddy, but they're also daddy. Those are 2 different things, Aquarius. So maybe they can be daddy in both senses of the word. You know what I'm saying? You also have this star card. It says guaranteed success. Star twice in your reading as well, basically. So definitely success. You have this older man. I always say with these people cards, I always clarify them. And also, it could be man, woman, whatever. Take it how it resonates. General reading. You have this dealings or relationships with an older man. And you have this, family wishes come true. There you go. A lot of family stuff showing up here. So some of you could be building a family. For others, could be attracting like a person who's older than you here. So definitely possible. But this looks really good, Aquarius. I like where this is going minus the past story, but I like it. So thank you for being here. Part 3 will be up in just a couple of days.